Coming up on First at 4, a person on the run from police for arson in Whitley County is arrested. And former President Donald Trump is using his legal battles to his advantage in the battle for publicity.
Plus, we are watching out for maybe a few showers tonight as a cold front moves through. Those details on the way as Mountain News First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, Cody Dean, a person who reportedly tried to burn down his grandmother's home after stealing from her, has been arrested. Dean, who officials say is from Whitley County, had been on the run from police for days. We told you about this earlier this week. Whitley County Sheriff William Elliott said trying to get up with Dean was like playing a game of chess. Dean was reportedly wanted on arson and other charges. The exact charges he now faces are unknown, but again, he has been arrested. Former President Donald Trump has used his legal troubles to actually raise money for his presidential campaign. But his Republican primary opponents are still struggling to get their messages heard over the media coverage of the court battles. CBS's Natalie Brand has more from Washington, D.C.
Former President Donald Trump campaigns in Tennessee Thursday, holding his first fundraiser since his latest indictment in Georgia.
These legal problems actually give Trump the ability to go back to his contributors and say, look, they're persecuting me. You need to give me more money.
While polls show Trump remains the front runner, George Washington University professor Todd Belt says it's still early.
Polls are traditionally quite variable this early on. And the reason for that is because a lot of these candidates really haven't introduced themselves to voters yet.
They'll try to make their case on the debate stage next week in Milwaukee. At least 9 presidential hopefuls say they've met RNC requirements, but Trump hasn't yet said whether he'll attend.
Speaking to CBS Mornings, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum says he's among those candidates trying to break through.
In terms of breaking through, we just been in this race a little over 2 months. People are just getting to know us.
GOP voters in Iowa will have the first say, which explains why candidates have descended on the state fair. Some voters who previously supported Trump say they're now looking for someone new.
He's putting down the other political candidates in the Republican Party, and I've had enough of it myself.
The former president, who faces 91 felony counts in 4 different cases, wants his trials held after the 2024 election. The prosecutors are pushing to start as early as January, meaning the cases could be playing out during the beginning of primary season. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Special counsel Jack Smith wants the January 6th case to begin at the start of January before the Iowa caucuses on January 15th. The Fulton County District Attorney wants the Georgia case to begin March 4th, one day before Super Tuesday. President Trump calls the legal cases, quote, election interference.
Well, the weather is not bad into this afternoon. Most of us are dry under a partly cloudy to mainly cloudy sky in some areas, but those temperatures also a little bit warmer. As you can see from Buffalo Mountain, that current temperature at 81 degrees. And again, we are under those high level clouds, also a few cumulus clouds out there as well. But overall, not a bad afternoon at all. Upper 70s, lower 80s across the mountains. So we are closer to average today. 82 in Pikeville, 78 in Jackson, and 81 for Manchester, also in London. Up on the radar, we are dry, but notice off to the north, we are watching out for this band of light showers in Ohio, also Indiana, and that is a cold front that could spark maybe a few showers as we go late tonight, also early on Friday. But other than that, we are watching out for high pressure for much of the forecast, and that means lower rain chances and also some more heat by this weekend, also into early parts of next week. But behind this front, we are tracking some awesome weather on Friday as we kick off high school football. Those details plus your full 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thanks. A 119-year tradition, the Kentucky State Fair, kicked off this morning near Louisville. The festivities kicked off with the annual commodity breakfast. City and state lawmakers helped serve the food, including eggs, ham, and sausage, all of it from farms right here in Kentucky. It's a celebration of the agriculture industry and farmers who feed Kentucky.
Agriculture is one of our biggest industries. contributing about $45.6 billion to our economy every year. Our Commonwealth is home to more than 73,000 farming operations. Whether it's growing corn, soybeans, tobacco, or wheat, whether it's raising cattle, hogs, goats, chicken, or sheep, Kentucky farmers are feeding the Commonwealth and beyond.
The fair is open until the 27th. If you buy your tickets online, they are just $10, and that includes parking. Heading back to school can be stressful for children, especially if they found the previous school year to be challenging. CBS's Danya Backus has more on resources to help parents address these concerns before they turn into bigger problems.
Fifth grader Sophia Schmidt has been dealing with anxiety since she was in kindergarten. Her mother, Megan, says it started affecting her behavior.
Retreating from activities that she's always loved to do, wanting to stay closer to myself and my husband.
They say therapy helped address it, but once the pandemic hit, Sophia's fears of getting sick made it difficult for her to return to school. Even now, she feels anxious starting a new school year.
What are some of the things that kind of worry you or make you a little nervous about going back to school?
Meeting new people, and also if my teacher's nice.
According to a new survey, 71% of parents say something made the previous school year challenging for their child.
Parents identified safety concerns, academics, bullying, and mental health concerns, as well as social connection, as the top concerns that they saw their kids struggling with.
Dr. Whitney Ragland-Bignall is a pediatric psychologist and associate clinical director for On Our Sleeves, a movement for children's mental health.
We have to start having conversations and start to see what they're thinking and feeling, how they thought last year went.
To help facilitate those discussions, On Your Sleeves has created resources for parents, which include conversation starters. Megan and Sophia say they've helped.
I don't always know the right questions to get to the root. Some suitable questions to ask to try to get there has been very, very helpful.
It helps a lot because I feel like I can get it off my mind and help me not worry.
And feel less stress with the anticipation of the new school year. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Experts say parents should continue to check in with their child during the school year and problem solve as a family to address issues that arise. Flu may not be the only potential health threat students will face as school starts back. Federal data reveals COVID-19 levels are relatively low nationwide, but hospitalizations have been climbing since early July. Officials say although COVID-19 hospitalization rates are at a high not seen since April, they are still much lower than before. The CDC says roughly 1% of hospital beds in U.S. inpatient and intensive care units are currently taken by COVID-19 patients. Still, a new poll shows Americans put COVID-19 at the bottom of a list of key public health threats. Those surveyed said opioids, obesity, and guns are the leading threats to public health. According to the latest Axios Ipsos American Health Index, COVID-19 was at the bottom of the list. The poll showed the public is split in its concern about the recent rise in COVID-19 cases, but it was not driving changes in mask wearing or testing. America's largest retailer appears to be making gains at the expense of Target and Home Depot. More shoppers are heading to Walmart for groceries and essentials. Walmart is raising its full-year outlook for sales, citing a stronger performance than expected during the first half of the year. Sales of groceries and health and wellness products are up significantly over the prior year. Home appliance manufacturer Gree is recalling more than 1.5 million dehumidifiers. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says there have been numerous reports of the appliances catching on fire or overheating. The dehumidifiers were manufactured between January 2011 and February 2014 under numerous brand names. Anyone with a recalled dehumidifier should unplug it immediately and contact Gree for a refund. Coming up on First at 4, health officials say they've successfully transplanted a kidney from a pig into a patient. How the operation may bring hope to those in need of a transplant.
And temperatures are near average this afternoon, but another round of cooler air is on the way for tomorrow. Those details coming up.